Yeah, good morning, everybody, and welcome to this 13th Special Sales Convention. Uh, we have with us for the inauguration session Mr. Dr. Anil Dhawan, who is Executive Director of Alloy Steel Producers Association of India. Then we have with us Mr. Paramjeet Singh. Mr. Paramjeet Singh is Industrial Advisor, Ministry of Steel, Government of India. I welcome Mr. Paramjeet Singh. And we have with us Mr. C.H. Sharma, a veteran of the special steels industry. We can say around 48 for 50 years experience in the special steel industry. So we have three dignitaries who are with us in the inauguration session. Thank you very much, all of them. And I would start with Dr. Anil Dhawan. But before that, I'll give an introduction of this event. This event, as you can see, it is 13th edition of Special Skills Convention. And before COVID, it used to be held at Pune, which is the hub of alloy steel and forging and auto. And so it was being organized in Pune. And as you know, Special Steel has a very special position in the steel industry. So we have with us, as I said, Dr. Anil Dhawan, Executive Director of Alloy Steel Producers Association, Mr. Paramjeet Singh, Industrial Advisor, Ministry of Steel, Government of India, and Mr. C.H. Sharma, veteran of the special steel industry. And first of all, I would like to request Dr. Anil Dhawan to make his opening comments. Mr. Anil Dhawan, Dr. Anil Dhawan, please.
Once again, good morning to all, and good morning, Mr. Chandekar, Mr. Paramjeet Singh, Mr. Sharma, and all present today. It's a privilege to be always amongst such a fraternity, and I wish these things happen very often. I also congratulate Steelworld for initiating and in going for this 13th special steel convention and expo, and wish them best of luck. Kindly excuse me because of my bad throat, but still, I think I'll try to do my best. To start with, let me tell you why you have picked up the word special steels is something very, very interesting and very important. Because in my knowledge, there's steel that is composed of special alloys produced by a special process and or has special properties to meet specific requirements is called special steels, and special steels have excellent strength, toughness, resistance to stress corrosion, oxidization, and all commonly used for aerospace, defense, auto, high-tech, and many more, which is highly customized industry. And having taken up this expo and this conventional meet, I think the Steelworld has done really a very human step to identify and go for this. Having said so, let me tell you the industry in India, special steel industry in India, right from the beginning has not been under any controls whatsoever. Like the conventional carbon steel was always a rationed item and was item with only 2-3 people, and conventional carbon steel till 1993 when they were also taken out of the controls. But the very fact that right from the beginning, special steels, which consists of alloy steels, stainless steels, and many other grades, even in the carbon steels like CRNO, CRNGO, or even tin plates, they are considered as specialty steels. Uh, having come to this, let me tell you that the consumption, the production part, the consumption in the beginning of the 60s or 70s were very, very low, primarily because auto sector was very, very low. And defense, almost everything has been imported. Aerospace was almost non-existent. So from a few 1,000 tons alloy steel industry has grown today this year into something like having a capacity of 12 to 15 million tons. That includes 3 to 4 million tons of stainless steel. And I have a study by the government of India. Mr. Paramjeet Singh will be definitely knowing about it. This was by QSRO, and they have come out. This was perhaps the first real good study in which the demand of alloy steels had been brought out sector wise, segment wise, size wise, grade wise. And this is a document which is available. Now, that shows the total consumption of real alloy steels to be something between 6 to 8 million tons. And that was 2, 3 years ago. Now, that means from few thousand tons, it has really grown to an industry which is today almost 10 to 12% of the total capacity in the country. And if we go by the revenues, I'm sure it is 25 to 30%. The revenues would be 25 to 30% of the total steel revenues generated by the steel industry. The way it goes for application specialty steel in the strategic sector, all the strategic sectors, it makes the steel very, very important and the future steel. I think we will definitely go into the details when we go into the panels, but I would like to mention that the three major aspects of the specialty steels. One, of course, since it is customized, so customers end use is of the prime importance, that form the basis of the specialty steel segment and the sector. And the other two are producers of steel, which are there today. I must mention that Alloy Steel Producers Association, which basically is having the membership of almost all alloy and stainless steel producers, particularly for the long ones, and covering more than 95% production of these ones. They are monitoring this segment very closely, and the producers, the next one come is the regulator. The regulator is the government. The national as well as international regulators exist, which influence the policy making, which influence even the end use, which influence the import, it influences export. In fact, the regulator has become another a very important stakeholder in the whole system, while the producers is looking into investment, technical input. They are faced with the real challenge of meeting the customized demands, may it be EV, may it be the low carbon steel, green steel, may it be for aerospace, and may it be the creation of a substitution for the grades which are being imported by the defense. And hence, the steel producers, with the help of feedback from the customers and support from the regulators, have to continuously change its stance in the market, even though we don't have in India any particular technology of steel making, because everything is imported, equipments are imported, and therefore we have a big challenge when we are talking about 10 to 15% out of the total steel, 300 million tons for the national capacity, to create something like 30 to 35 million tons industry, which we are sure of. So what to produce, backed by the demand from the segments, and hand holding with the regulators, ministries. Particularly, we are very lucky to have a steel ministry, a specific ministry for steel. Hardly any country in the world has such a good fortune. So we are having a very good direction. We are having a very good demand domestic. We are having a good iron ores base, except few raw material issues. So we are looking forward to a very robust special steel expansion in the country, usage in the country, and good times for the industry, provided we are able to talk to the consumers very regularly. ESPA recently had, I think everybody knows, had a very good interaction one-to-one with the SIAM, Society of Indian Automotive Manufacturers. We had a good meetings with ACMA, the Auto Component Manufacturers Association, and previously now with SIDN, Society of Indian Defense Manufacturers. So we have gone across, these producers have gone across on their own to the user segments to know as to what are their plans and how it should be, with a focus on making all special steel available to the consumers, to the OEMs, auto component manufacturers, aerospace equipment manufacturers, defense manufacturing. And for that, we have already talked to the government for coming out with a PLI. We have also asked the government that we are very competent technically and otherwise, and therefore rod tap scheme should be extended to this one. And well, let me share with you, I think this group, the specialty steel group, is very much equipped to handle even the CBAM. So I would now restrict and mention that while we in the special steel segment, the challenges are maximum, but perhaps the preparedness, the foresightedness, and the proactive approach of the industry is will and is standing by it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dr. Dhawan, and it was a very good, insightful speech. And sir, since Mr. Paramjeet Singh is here, do we have any special demands from the Ministry of Steel as far as policy making is concerned, Dr. Dhawan?
If it is directed to me, let me tell you and
Yes,
let me assure
yes,
you,
yes, yes.
I am openly thanking and complimenting the support, guidance, and even hand holding by the Steel Ministry. Let me
Great,
tell
great.
you, if the
That is a
PLI
great.
1 has
Yeah,
come
yeah.
and we were working for PLI 2, they are there. And for Mr. Paramjit Singh, I must put on record the efforts made for QCOs, standardization of quality, and the R&D projects. I think with the way he has been really helping the secondary sector, the small scale sector, I think we can't ask for anything more or better. And
Great, great.
therefore, as I mentioned, the Steel Ministry and Industrial Advisors Office, headed by Mr. Paramjit Singh, has been absolutely great for us for this industry.
Thanks for your words, sir. And yes, thank you, Mr. Paramjit, for all your support to the industry. I know you hail from the industry itself, so you are one of us only. So, but before I go to Mr. Paramjit, I would like Mr. C.H. Sharma to say something. Mr. Sharma, your opening comments, sir.
First thing, I congratulate you for the 13th Special Steel Convention, which you are having on a virtual platform. And I know I've been attending a lot of your conventions. When it was even on the held in the hotels and all other things. Let me tell you that I joined the industry somewhere 52 years back or 53 years back. There was hardly any special steel which was produced by this country. We had some plants like GKW or BR Alloys or Mahindra Using coming up in 70s. And I think only by 85 or so, special steel was being manufactured. Otherwise, we have been importing most of the steel. Today, as a steel maker, I'm proud to say, I think 90% plus steel we produce in our own country, and it is approved by all the users, including maybe companies like Maruti, which is very conscious about the quality, or even Toyota for that matter, or Hyundai, or even the Hero. All those plants are now using only the indigenous steel, but it came only in 85 onwards when we went for secondary steel making, and our quality improved with the help of, I will say OEMs, which put a lot of pressure on the, steel makers. So maybe we will take up this discussion during our panel
Yes,
discussion. I have only one request to the Steel Ministry and Bureau of Indian Standard. If possible, we rationalize the steel. Today what is happening, the steel maker has to make grades for in the EN specification, then in the, something like DIN specification, then we have a, you know, ACM grades, same grade we have been making in the 6, 7 specification, and we have to keep, small stocks for everyone. So if we can combine some of the grades having the same, metallurgical and more or less similar chemistry, it will help a long way to all the steel makers to reduce the inventory. Also, they can reduce the cost by having a longer sequence, less inventories. Uh, once again, I, welcome, this convention which we are having. I, you know, uh, say that this will have a long way to go and we'll have success and we'll have a good deliberation during the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sharma. And before moving on to our next dignitary, Mr. Paramjit Singh, I just wanted to add that this digital platform has played miracles in the industry, for the industry and for the events like us, because we know that however small is the actual number which are who are attending now, we know that this event will reach around 25 to 30,000 people ultimately, because we are going to promote this is being recorded, and we are going to promote it nationally, internationally. And by our experience of last 3 4 years post covid, we now can say confidently that this event can reach more than 25,000 professionals across the globe. So that is the power of digitalization. Of course, we'll discuss that in a separate way in our panel discussion. And now I go to Mr. Paramjit Singh. Mr. Paramjit Singh, thank you very much for sparing your time. I know how busy you are and how busy ministry is nowadays. And thanks very much for your time. And please guide the delegates.
Good morning to all of you. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Chandekar for inviting me. I know that Mr. Chandekar has called me many times, but because of the busy schedule or the meetings during that scheduled time, I couldn't attend that time. But first of all, I would like to congratulate for this 13th Special Steel Convention. And this is specifically for the special steel. And as Mr. Dhawan has told that how much production is being done by the alloy steel manufacturer, which are main producer for the special steel. But I would like to mention one thing, that if you see, look into the data from 2018-19 to as on date, we were exporting around 9.2% of our total steel, of alloy steel, and as on date we are exporting around 33% of the total alloy steel production, and import is earlier in 2018 it was 24%, and as on date it is 38%. So as on date we are still net importer. So it means we have a lot of potential that where we can work on and produce many grades which are required by our domestic and user industry and meet their demand. Mr. Sharma has requested regarding that this rationalization of the steel grades. Just for information, sir, we have already worked upon, because Dr. Dhawan is already a member of our technical committee, where we are evaluating the applications, whatever the import is coming, which is not falling under the purview of QCO, and we are collecting the data, and that data is being shared with the Bureau of Indian Standards. And with the effort of the industry and our technical team, we have included many of the grades in the existing standard, and some of the grades which are overlapping, that has been merged. So that, as you said, that one should not make many grades if they can be, some of the chemistries are overlapping. Then we worked with the BIS. We have made one grade of two. If there are overlapping of the grade, we have made one grade so that it can meet the requirement, and less inventory need to be produced by the manufacturers. That we are already working. But even though in future, if you have any comment upon that, so like if some grades like foreign grades which can be merged, or which have the equivalent Indian standard, just let us know. We will work upon that. In that, you need to send us written communication to us. Regarding this, in addition to this, we have another committee like that's called Empowered Committee. The grades which are falling under the PUCO Quality Control Order, but still being imported because some of the automotive manufacturers or other manufacturers like Airbus manufacturer, they stress upon us that these grades are not being manufactured in the country and need to be imported. For that, we have made an empowered committee where we call all the manufacturers who can produce that grades. And in that case, we have found out that the grades which need to be evolved by the industry, that is the valve steel grades, transmission shaft gears grades, and the balls for the ball bearings, the grades which is used for balls, that is still a constraint. Still, it is being imported. And tool and die steel, that I think the industry need to work on the tool and die grade steel. There is a lot of scope around. I would say around 10 to 20,000 tons of the, you can say every quarter this tool and die grade is being imported. So we are giving the opportunity to all the industry, and they need to produce, because most of the grades are being imported, which are imported, right? Special steels are being imported. These are from the Sweden, Japan, Korea, China, or Italy. So I think we need to work upon that. The industry has the potential. As of my knowledge, I think industry have all the facilities, because sometimes these producers come to me and they said that if these grades are being produced from this specific route of process. If you see that type of all types like ESR, BD, BOD, all facilities are available in the country. But I think industry need to work upon. They need to develop a discipline. They need to develop discipline, because maybe we are able to produce one hit which is meeting their requirement. When we are going for the next hit, maybe something happens wrong and we are not able to give the consistent quality. So industry need to work on the consistent quality, how we can give the specific grade on the continuous basis with the consistent quality, that need to work upon. I think in that case, I'll just take a point from Chandekar ji, that he has said that how we in digitization. I think if we can industry can focus on the industry 4, I think that can help them to create the discipline in their process. And by creating the discipline, I think we can produce all type of grades, and we can, no doubt, we can produce that grade. We can meet the requirement of our country, as well as we can export and meet the requirement of the world. I think these are the things which need to be focused upon. If one industry, basically this is basic, that is Airbus or Boeing industry, lot of grades are being imported, and industry is able to produce that grades, but I think they need to focus on the certification part, like NADCAP or AS9110. These type of certifications are required by them before getting the, you can say, validation by the OEMs. So they need to work very close to the OEMs or the user industry, so that whatever certification is, that they should also focus on that, because without certification, even that is the main requirement. Without certification, these materials cannot be used by the Airbus or any automobile manufacturer. These things need to be focused upon. And we are working, ministry is working not only for the quality, we are working for the environment point of view. I think that whenever we are producing a steel, we have to focus upon how we can produce the energy efficient steel with a low amount of energy use, and with the less impact on the environment. In future, when the CBAM will come, I think we need to focus upon that, how we can produce the steel with the minimum emission pattern of the steel, how that, so that we can be a net exporter in future. In that case, with this remarks, I'll close my remarks, and thank you very much. I wish best of luck for this convention. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Paramjeet. And really, we have here representative of a trade body, we have here representative of the industry, and we have here the representative of the policy maker, that is government. And I can see a very good synergy between these people. So I am very sure that the industry can progress. Special steel as such has a great future, in my opinion. And with the improvements like digitalization or rationalization of specifications, and reducing the import component. Maybe in the we go one step further in Atmanirbhar Bharat, and that is how we can progress in special steel sector. I thank you or thank all the dignitaries,
I'll,
Mr.
I'll, I'll take 1 minute, sir. I'll take
Yeah,
one
yeah,
minute.
please,
Sir.
please, please.
Yeah. I just informed to this August gathering because all of them are alloy steel manufacturers.
Yeah,
We are going to have an interaction meeting under the chairmanship of additional secretary. Even we would like to call secretary steel. That is being planned on 21st, 20th and 21st. 20th, we will have the interaction with the user industry, like user industry, automobile and other industries. We'll call the manufacturers as well as the user industry. And I would request Mr. Anil Dhawan to have request them to have a maximum participating industry in that meeting, so that we can have a very good interaction, so that we can meet the theme of our honorable PM, how we can become Atmanirbhar in that case. And on 21st, we are going to have the interaction with the tool and die industry, what sort of grades are being offered, who can make these grades and how they can club. Because I want that, because all the industries have the capacity, but by taking the small volumes of the specific grade, if one can take a specific grade and they can supply that grade to the meet the requirement of the industry, they can take the small quantities and meet the requirement and supply the grades to the domestic as well as the foreign manufacturers. This is what I want to say.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Paramjit. And I thank all the dignitaries of this session, Mr. C.S. Sharma, Mr. Dr. Anil Dhawan, and Mr. Paramjit Singh for sparing their time and participating in this inauguration session of 13th Special Seals Convention. Thank you very much. We take a 15-minute break from here, and then we'll start with the panel discussion. Thank you very much.